They are invincible, undeniable, and two-time Super Bowl champions. Welcome to the Indiana Chiefs Fan Podcast, where we talk about our favorite team, the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs. I am Golden Jay, and with me is the Chief himself, Phil Jordan. Chico is in Disney right now and having the time of his life, and you'd be proud of him because he is drinking around the world. They have a little card and they get beers from each one of these different places, like Japan and the US, Canada. I mean, all these different places.
You better fill that card up.
Oh, the card was full as of the other night, and Sarah and Sydney were having some doubts about the last two.
It was some oddball beer, I take it.
Well, you could get all kinds of different drinks. I think they had daiquiris from the United States and margaritas from Mexico. You know, it's just stuff like that. So they're down there having a good time. So hopefully Chico will be back with us next week, and you know, let him have his fun.
I will say it felt weird doing the tomahawk chalk during that intro. I hit my mic 4 times.
I did it with the other hand.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said. That tomahawk chop was all messed up for me. You'll see it in the replay that I whacked the mic about 3 or 4 times.
When I go back and watch the YouTube, watch us on YouTube, then it'll be pretty great. So listen, I got a couple things I want to get to. For starters, I want to know, hold on, where did it go? Where did it go? There it is. For starters, I want to know if you know Robert Nickerson.
No.
Well, he posted on our YouTube page under episode 3 when we talked about the draft. He said, "Awesome jersey, Phil. DT was my favorite player. Owns several Thomas jerseys."
Awesome.
So shout out to Robert. I thought maybe it was somebody you worked with. Maybe just somebody come across our YouTube.
Not anyone that I know, because like I told you in our building, there's only 2 Chiefs fans, so it's not a competition.
And you know both of them. But anyway, shout out to Robert. Thank you for commenting on our YouTube page. That's awesome.
Yeah, and Derek Thomas, may he rest in peace, was an awesome player, which everybody in the NFL can appreciate what he did during his career. Well,
I got another one here too. I'm going to get to, but have you seen the picture that somebody photoshopped with Derek and Patrick walking together off the field?
I have seen that.
Isn't that a great Photoshop job? I don't know. It looks so fucking cool. It was like, wow. Imagine if we would have had Derek Thomas now. Ooh.
Yeah.
Be unbelievable. Anyways, we also got an email on Indiana Chiefs fans. And this is a guy that Gunner works with. It's a huge Chiefs fan. I want to give a shout out to Rob. He actually emailed and said Derek Thomas sacking Dave Craig 7 times in one game. He would have had 8, but missed a Craig throw, the game-winning touchdown. First I visited Arrowhead was during a trip to the Royals game. The tour guide walked us down the field. It was like visiting a Mecca. But anyways, I'll shout out. Oh, wait.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, looky there.
All right.
You got to turn that camera, buddy.
He's got it. You got to turn your camera.
Turn your camera. You're sideways. There you go. There he is. Look at he's suntan and he's about half lit.
I was gonna say he looked pretty
only one
tanked.
drink in.
You only one drink in?
Only one.
Only one.
Sorry guys. I'm drinking the old Mountain Dew tonight, so I was just reading Rob's email that he sent to Indiana Chiefs fans.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty awesome. So give him a shout out, tell him thank you for listening, and we appreciate the email. Please keep them coming.
When he comes on, we'll have to have him show you his tattoo, his Derek Thomas tattoo.
Oh,
Very
he's got
nice.
a T tattoo.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, he's got his number and the arrowhead on his arm. So
Very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool.
yep,
Yeah,
so I'd stop in for a minute.
Are you where are you at now? You look like you're poolside. Look at that. The giant Mickey pool. There's my girl Sarah.
Must be at the
Is
hotel
that
pool.
Sid? Hey Sid.
Yeah, hotel pool.
Put a shirt on.
Put the shirt on. No, you see my shirt I got on here?
Look at he's all Star Wars out. He's
Oh my god.
I was just telling Phil that you built a lightsaber down there.
Yes. Yep.
Was it glass or plastic?
Plastic
Oh.
blades. They're combat grade, so you can actually fight with them.
And how
Nice.
many lightsaber battles have you had with Lucas so far?
We're gonna film one tonight for the video I'm gonna put together.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, are you going to do that in the dark? So it's just the two blades going at it? Well, just remember there was a movie with John Ritter where that happened. They were wearing glow in the dark condoms.
That's
What
awesome.
was
It's
that?
gonna be the surprise ending.
Oh yeah. It's a close up of Lucas's face. That's all I had to say.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Where is
All right.
Lucas at? He out getting a drink?
Yep. He's getting drinks.
Well, you guys have fun, and we will see you on next week's show.
Yep.
All right, there it is.
Yeah,
Go Chiefs.
I can't do that.
Yeah. Show him your arm real quick.
Oh, hold on.
Hold on, he's got to lift it up.
Oh, is it in a? Oh no!
Oh yeah.
Wait. Oh, I can't see it now.
Oh, there you go. That's my life right now.
Oof. Oof.
Yeah. We left you some special stuff at the beginning to edit out when you edit this podcast.
Okay.
You might need a bucket.
Yeah.
I'll just skip past it.
Yeah, that's what I said. Just fast forward 30 seconds. Fast forward 30 seconds.
Okay. All right. You guys have fun. Go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Bye.
Bye, bud.
Have a good time, y'all.
Yep.
Chico's out. So yeah, you can tell he's having a good time. Sitting poolside, enjoying that Florida weather.
I don't believe he's one beer in.
No, he's definitely not one beer in.
It's either that or he's very exhausted from the day. One of the two.
Well, you gotta think that they walk everywhere down there. So, and that's
Yeah.
they've been doing it. They've been down there 6 days already. That is a lot of go.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, let's get to some interesting facts of this week. Where training camp is all in full swing right now, and I just want to bring up that we have somebody show up to training camp this week, and I'm pretty excited that he showed up. And I guess Patrick Mahomes gave him a call and said, "Hey, I need you, and you should come here." So that's what convinced him to come in, and he's going to play on the franchise tag. And I'm excited that Orlando Brown Jr. actually is in training camp right now.
Yep, I concur. I read that, on the Chiefs page. I was very happy. He did mention that in the off season he wants to get a contract and retire as a Chief. So
I did read that. He wants to. That's where he wants to be.
And it also mentioned he wants a Super Bowl. So I think that's why he's in training camp, along with a potential or alleged phone call from Mahomes. He wants that ring.
Well, that is the ultimate goal. I mean, and why wouldn't you put yourself in a situation where you know that you use one of your best chances? I mean, there's some good teams going on right now. I mean, we can probably name a handful of them who could possibly be in the AFC Super Bowl side.
AFC Championship.
Well, even the Super Bowl AFC side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, I could name 2 or 3 right off the top of my head. So,
Well, all the pundits are saying AFC West is stacked. I agree with that to a degree, meaning I think there's 1 or 2 teams that they're good. I still don't think they're that good. So,
to look at it, let's just start off with the obvious one, and that's Denver. They go out and they get Russell Wilson, but they sold the farm to get him.
Yep.
As far as I'm concerned. So in that case, then, you don't have weapons around. I mean, he's got weapons. I mean, there's, he's got a Gordon. Is it Melvin Gordon that came back as a running back? He's a good a good running back for Denver.
I know they lost one of their wide receivers this week. Denver did, to an ACL. I just don't remember the name. But he was one of the main targets, or
really
maybe a rotational player. But I know he had a lot of stats when I looked him up. So that's a loss, unfortunately, for Denver, and wish him the best. I don't remember the player's name, but he tore his ACL. So
and that's season ending right there. There's no, well, I don't know. He could come back late in the season, I suppose. It depends.
They already marked him out for the season. So
right on.
They didn't put. I don't think they put him on the pup list. I don't believe.
Right on.
But don't follow them that much. I just happened to see the headline, and
right.
I think one of their running backs had an issue as well. So,
oh man, that's not good.
Yeah, I mean, they're not having a good start. And again, this is what I remember, what I recall, my memory.
Right. Phil had surgery, as you could tell, this week, and he's been a little groggy in the brain.
Yeah,
so
I was gonna say I was up reading NFL.com, like at 2 or 3 a.m. just catching up on things. So if I got the players wrong or the team wrong, so be it.
It happens.
You try doing that on some high dose pain pills.
Well, and we also have a disclaimer. This is our own, we don't have all the facts right out of everything that comes out. So,
yeah. And the question, that I always have about Russell Williams is, Wilson. Sorry. See, I tell you, I'm
his groggy brain.
I'm still loopy. Is, what's he got left in the tank?
And my thought is that a new team and a new head coach, they're looking at his scheme. They're going to let him do what he wants to do. That fuels that tank. So,
well, it does to a degree, but like you said, if they bet the farm on him, what's going to be around them? I don't know what their roster looks like. I'll be honest, but
I don't either. I just know that I'm a Russell Wilson fan. I was a big fan of him up in Seattle. Definitely rooted for him both times they were in the Super Bowl. Obviously, well, they weren't playing the Chiefs, so it was all good.
I'm just kidding.
Even though they used to be a divisional rival, but I like Russell Wilson, and I wish him the best. I just wish he would have went someplace else besides Denver, because that's like.
Well, he's not a scrambling quarterback that much anymore, which makes it better for us. Our defense typically doesn't do well against quarterbacks that like to get out of the pocket, move around, and run upfield. I mean,
we got a couple new rookies like Leo Chanel and George Kalofakis.
Yeah, I'm just saying in years past.
Yeah, gonna mess that up.
Gonna say Galapagos.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. For the last 3 days, I've been listening to as much talk about him as I could possibly listen, so I could try to get that. So I could kind of get that name. But I've been kind of focused on a different player and getting his name right, because I totally messed it up in the draft episode.
Was that the one I corrected you on?
Isaiah Pachinko.
Yeah. I corrected you on that one.
You did.
You said something. I just
I used the Pikachu thing, I think, but Pachinko. And you know what? We've already actually signed him to special teams as a kick returner, using McCole as our punt returner. So, but I guess he is blowing up camp right now, and people are taking a second look at him. I'm excited about that, because we need a good running game, and we got what, Rojo coming from Tampa Bay. We've got Gore, We've got Clyde, which reminds me, Clyde
Clyde's out.
back on the field. They took him off the they took
Really?
him off the pup already. He's been back out practicing. So
I wonder if he just had COVID or something. Usually that's you get on the pup list for COVID and they can pull you off.
it could very well be. I don't know. I didn't get into specifics. I just know that he was back on the field playing or practicing. So
Good. That's nice.
yeah.
Sorry.
So yeah, Pachinko, return man. He is going to be, I believe he's going to be a monster. I'm excited to watch him play. And you know what number he's wearing?
Don't tell me.
Oh, come on. You know this one.
Don't tell me 81.
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh, he's wearing the number of the cheetah, number 10.
Oh, okay. I was hoping he wasn't wearing 81. That's all.
Who was 81?
Dwayne Bowe.
Oh. See, I put that so far out of my mind, I didn't even remember that, you know.
It's always stuck in the back of my head. Anyway, let's move forward and not do a whole episode on that.
Right on. Also, Carlos Dunlap signed with the Chiefs this week, and today was his first day in camp. This being August 4th.
I did not see that yet.
Yep, he is. It's really interesting because I listened to a couple different podcasts where they talked about him, and the guy is like 6'6" and is got some of the longest arms in the NFL, I guess, and he's been really good at batting down passes and stuff like that because he's got that big wide eagle spread. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, is he a down lineman or defensive end or?
He's a defensive tackle, I believe.
Oh, so, okay.
I have to go back and look.
So down lineman.
Yeah. So yeah, he's gonna be up there on the line with oh crap, George and yeah, you know, I'm drawing a fucking blank right now. I have to forgive me.
Clark.
Yeah, Clark. And did you read about Clark?
Yes, that Clark? He got his contract restructured, as I recall, due to lack of production. And this year, he said he's lost. I think he stopped drinking, if I remember the article correctly.
Stopped drinking alcohol.
Lost a lot of weight and is all meat, no fat, ready to go. He's faster, quicker. I mean, this is according to him.
Yep.
So I look forward to seeing him that way again. You know, he can be a game wrecker if he's, you know, playing at his, let's just say, a normal level for him.
Right.
I think last year was definitely a down year for him.
Yeah, definitely.
So
because we're so used to him getting back there and just, you know, causing a ruckus behind the line, and didn't really see much of that last year.
I mean, he had flashes here and there, you know, for half a game or something, but nowhere near the year before where he was just a game wrecker almost every game.
Right. And our defense did not have many sacks last year at all. So
yeah, we might have been close to last, if not last.
Right on.
I don't recall the stat, but and again, I don't pull stuff up. I just talk out of what I remember.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd hear a bunch of typing. You know where?
Yeah. He's Googling it. Everybody, he's Googling.
Yeah, as you can see, we're high-paid professionals here.
That is correct. We're making all the money. Oh yeah. Also, Travis Kelce got a restructure, got himself a little bit of a raise.
Yep.
And one of the most exciting things about all of that was the fact that he said, I want to retire as a Chief. I don't want to play anywhere else.
Yep.
So when he's done, he's done. He's not going to jump ship.
Yeah, don't pull a Tony Gonzalez, in other words, but I don't blame him for leaving anyway, because we were rebuilding at the time. So,
well, and once again, at that time, yeah, we had was not a very good team, and
no,
you know, everybody was after that ring, and that was his best option at that point. You know, Atlanta was a great team.
Yep. At
that time, and it's just still too bad he just didn't get there.
Yeah, I do have his Atlanta card on my wall.
Right on.
So I'm a Tony Gonzalez fan, no matter where he went.
Yeah, we were too. We were rooting hard for him.
I mean, I
For
don't
sure.
have a card with him in the in the booth, but I have his Arizona card or not Arizona,
Atlanta. Yeah.
Atlanta. Thank you.
Yep. So yeah, we're on that. That just made me just happy that he comes out and says, I don't want to play anywhere else. This is home. This is where I want to be.
Mhm.
So that's exciting. And the last thing I want to touch on here, and I do want your opinion on this. I have my opinion, and I'm gonna let you go first. But did you see Bills quarterback Josh Allen get hit by that defensive end or defensive tackle during practice, and then started a fight with him over it?
I did not. I told you I've been out of it pretty much for 3 days, so I did not see it, hear about it. I'm taking it that he got pissed and that he got hit. Number one.
Well, in practice they wear the red shirts for a reason. Red
Yeah.
means stop. You're not supposed to hit the quarterback. And this guy got up there. I don't know that it was like intentionally he walked up and like pushed him or anything, but you've got game style situations going on there where you're lined up against an offensive lineman. If you get up in there, you're gonna tap your quarterback. And he took offense to it, and started a ruckus out there on the field. And there were players flying all over. You get a chance, you need to go watch that footage. It's quite unbelievable.
You sparked my interest already, and the only thing I can think of right now that's close to that is the scene out of The Replacements, where he grabs the defensive guy. You see, red means stop.
Red means stop. That's exactly where that came from. Red means stop.
And then the next play, he hit him again.
Yeah, it's so confusing.
I know. It just, and that movie's fresh in my brain because I happened to watch it a couple of weeks ago. But yeah,
it's an amazing movie.
That's classic. Well, I will go watch that Melee.
You need to go.
I think every team has something like that every year. I mean, not necessarily has to be the quarterback, but there's always some kind of ruckus, we'll say.
Well, let me just give you my opinion, and this is straight up my opinion. I think that's the beginning of the end right there. I think that we've seen this in the past with quarterbacks who are above everybody else and throw a hissy fits over the small shit like that. I mean, we've seen it in the past with him. This coin toss thing was just a debacle, and he just made such a big fucking deal about it the whole entire time.
Hey, it's the rules, man.
It is the rules. We all know the rules going into it. I mean, it wasn't like it was a big like, oh, what do you mean they changed shit? No, nobody changed fucking shit on you, dude. This is the way the game is played. And he made such a huge deal out of it, and he made such a huge deal out about it the whole entire offseason. And now to see this, where he's going to throw a temper tantrum because his defensive line, bumped him in practice. I got this sinking gut feeling that this is the beginning of the end for the great Josh Allen. I could be way wrong. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that teams won't put up with that shit for very long.
No, I agree. I mean, my opinion on the coin flip is that they're going to change it. It should be the entire season, not just the playoffs.
It's a little odd. When you told us that, was it last week or 2 weeks ago when we talked about it briefly, you said they changed it, and I thought, just for the playoffs, why would you do that? Why would you make that specific for the playoffs? Because now you're just adding confusion to the game. It's like, well, I thought they did this. And as fans at home who get easily confused because you're watching 8, 10, 12 games a weekend or whatever, depending on how much football you love. I sat there with my Sunday ticket with all 8 games playing at one time, trying to watch all of my head's just, it's on a swivel. And, it gets a little confusing.
Yeah, my only hope is that the Bills are in a playoff game and they win the coin toss. They don't score.
Yeah, and then
the other team gets a field goal, which would have just been the same thing. All it's going to do is elongate the game. I know everyone wants to touch the ball, but if your defense sucks, which ours did, pretty much last year, we got lucky.
Right.
It's a luck of the draw. I mean, it's a coin flip.
Yeah, it's
50,
called
50,
yeah,
man.
it's 50-50. It's a coin toss for a reason. It's
Yeah,
fair.
I mean,
It's fair. It's 50-50. It's not leveled to one side or the other. Wait a second.
what
They
was
were the visiting team. Didn't they call the coin toss?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
So, sucks to be them.
Go fucking figure that one, Josh Allen. Stick that in your pie hole.
Yeah. How many games did we lose by a coin flip? Who got the ball last? Quite a few.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's part of the game, I think they'll take it out after this year.
Well, didn't we lose that New England game, that playoff game?
Yes.
Because of a coin. Yeah. I'm just saying. I'm just pointing that out. I mean,
with the D Ford offsides and that, and the game that we played Buffalo, that wasn't the AFC Championship game either, and that was we lost. Yeah, against New England with a coin flip. So you didn't see us crying like babies. I mean, I was crying like a baby when D Ford was offsides out of nowhere.
I did hear that Kansas City did actually petition to get that rule changed after that game, but the owners turned it down. That's what I was told.
Speaking of owners, who is it? Was it Miami's owner?
Oh, Jesus.
Sorry, they got fined and tossed down until like October or something like that for interfering, trying to get Tom Brady.
They were tampering. They got busted for tampering, and I didn't realize they were after Tom Brady, but they lost all of their 22, 23 draft picks, or they took
they lost the first round of
2023, yeah.
And a third rounder the next year, I think. And then the owner was fined, I don't know how much dollars.
I believe it was $1.3 million, or maybe it might have been a little bit more than that. But
and he's not allowed to attend any owners meetings until next year. Or there was something about October that he would be reinstated, maybe as far as the team goes, but he can't attend like owners meetings and all kinds of gobbledygook. For all of you out there, go and read it. Again, I'm just going off what I recall, but it was an interesting article. Oh, I remember the last part. Was it Brian Flores, right? The coach at the time.
Okay.
I think alluded to the fact that the owner wanted him to throw games so that they can get the first round draft pick.
Really?
After an NFL investigation, I'm using air quotes with my one arm. That didn't happen. Whatever. That can be another whole podcast on its own.
We could talk about that for hours, couldn't we?
Theoretical things. But that was another thing they were investigating during that season before they got Tom Brady, was that they were trying to lose games on purpose to get a first round draft pick. Again, according to the NFL, it was proven not correct. But still leaves it in the back of your head thinking about it.
Right.
All right, enough non-talk about the Chiefs.
Sorry, I just wanted to touch on that Josh Allen thing because of what happened last year, and we do play them this year in Arrowhead.
Yeah, I want to watch him cry.
It'll be fun. I don't know. I think Chico's going to be at that game, so
that might be one of the ones I stole.
Right on. You never know. I sold my first tickets this last week.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
Which game? The Charge or
I had that Thursday night Charger games that y'all know that I can't go to because I'm working that whole entire weekend. So,
well, nice. You made a little bit of a profit, I hope.
It was very, very, very little. Let me tell you, but
well, I guess
I know the guy that I sold them to. He's extremely happy. So
that's right.
Yeah, I'm excited for him. Yeah, he's excited. It'll be his first Arrowhead game, and I told him, I said, get there early, do some tailgating, and meet the people out there while you're there, and which we're gonna talk about that down the road. I think we have a whole episode just on Arrowhead tailgating, don't we?
Yep.
Coming up. So
I think it's what, getting the Arrowhead from Indiana and
Yeah,
tailgating, or they get the combo.
I'd have to go back and look at our schedule. I have to look at it every week to see what's coming up next. So sorry,
Yes.
gang. I'm a little twitchy here. If you're watching me on YouTube, I might have tweaked my back a little bit, and I'm not overly comfortable.
Not gonna ask how or why.
It was worth it. No, not really, but
Maybe it has something to do with paying for cheese tickets.
yeah. Hey, you got to make that. You got to make that money somehow. So this week we're going to talk a little bit about Arrowhead Stadium, and just the stadium in general. We got a few facts, and then we're just going to discuss our involvement with Arrowhead, and the few times that I've been there, the 10,000 times that Phil's been there. I mean, you have Patrick Mahomes, you have Travis Kelce, you had Tyreek Hill, and then it's a little bit smaller photo, but there's Phil.
I have been on. I think I went on the field twice last year, so it was kind of fun.
I remember the one you went down there with your dad, because I was at that game. So
before that, I had gone down on the field with Karen. So
right
on a previous game. So
right on.
For those of you that are season ticket members, don't forget to use your points to do special events such as, sideline passes or, being in a halftime show or,
just out of curiosity, do you know, did they drop the COVID restrictions on the halftime shows?
I have not heard, but, everyone's kind of getting away from the COVID thing, but being the NFL, I bet you they're still going to require it.
Right on.
Maybe they'll switch it up and say if you have a negative test at least right before, because they got those 15-minute tests now. So
I test all the damn time. When I went to Dallas, I had my negative test in my pocket because they were supposed to be asking for it to get in. So either that or a vaccine card.
So when I went to my procedure for my elbow Monday at 5:30 a.m.
5:30
a.m. I'm signing in, driver's license, insurance card. Oh, and your COVID card. I didn't bring my COVID card because no one told me to.
Right.
My wife had hers and her mom had hers, so they were fine. I had to go out in the hallway like a peasant, and I'm the one getting operated on to have a COVID test done.
Really?
Obviously, I passed.
Right.
But anyway, to your point, I think we'll have to find out once the season opens.
Yeah,
they'll let us know.
I just didn't know if you'd heard anything yet.
Nope.
So let's see. As we've talked about in the past in the history of the Chiefs, they were the Dallas Texans, and they moved to Kansas City in 1963, but they didn't start in Arrowhead. They started in
Municipal Stadium.
There you go. And you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Well, that stadium, it's been around. I think it was in the 1920s when it was built. It had a seating capacity of about 35,000. Fun fact, according to my dad, he was working the chains on some of those games when the Chiefs were playing.
Really?
At that stadium. So, yeah. He told me that the other day when I was talking about this podcast we're doing. He was like, well, I was there for this, and including the championship games, stuff like that. So we'll have to have him come on and give us some more background on Municipal and, the early days of Arrowhead.
Definitely going to have him on. Is he going to listen?
I don't know. We might have to do a lot of editing, like we said before.
No. I mean, does he listen to was he going to listen to the regular podcast?
He said he was.
All right, sweet.
We'll have to find out. But yeah, the Municipal Stadium, it's been around since the early 1920s. They did some rehabbing of it in the 50s. Basically what happened was when the AFL and NFL merger came around in 1966, the seating capacity did not match what the NFL was requiring, which was 50,000 seats at a minimum.
Yeah, so because there was only approximately 35,000 in Municipal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Municipal. Sorry.
So yeah, and I think that's what really, put the Chiefs on the record saying, well, I don't think we want to rebuild a stadium that was, and this is my opinion, I don't know what happened, but that was erected in 1923, rehabbed in the 50s, let's build something new and
Yeah.
exciting. And I think, the architects, obviously I don't know them, but they had a good vision. They had multiple visions, mind you, on what the Arrowhead Stadium would look like. And, once they merged in, in 1966 is when that, those conversations started.
Right. So let me get this right. Looks like construction for that started in 1968 and was finished in time for the, was it 1972 season? So the
I believe
1972
so.
season was the first year the Chiefs played in there. Do I got this right? It was $102 million bond to build both of that and the Royal Stadium.
That is correct. It shows you inflation.
Holy cow. I mean, well, let's think about that. 1976, $102 million. What would that be worth? What'd I say?
1967.
What'd I say? 76.
I think you
76. I did say 76. I'm so sorry, listeners. Yeah, 67.
Bastard.
It's been a long, painful day. I mean, what would that translate into money today? I mean, if you really wanted to put the math to it, I mean, 102 million back then was got to be an extravagant amount of money.
That's probably close to $1 billion. I'm just going to go on a limb and say that.
Right on.
I don't know what the exact math on it is, but I'm going to say $1 billion. I will get that answer by the next podcast, just for giggles.
All right. Well, do you have any idea? I don't know this. I'm just asking off the top of my head what Allegiant or Allegiant was.
Allegiant was well over $1 billion.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that if you kind of compared today building that like they did just a couple years ago compared to building that one in 67, that would probably be about the same amount of money. So
yeah, if they would have redone Municipal Stadium, we would be in the running, if we were still at that stadium, rehabbed it, rebuilt it. I think Soldier Field, I believe, is the oldest field, I believe. I think we would have been in the running for one of the oldest fields if we were still there today. Green Bay is another, stadium that's been around for a very long time. But, Lamar Hunt and his architects, I think they were the first to put two stadiums right next to each other.
Right on.
So that was revolutionary at the time. I think the design of the bowl of Arrowhead was also, the way that they did it to make the noise and seating and capacity was somewhat revolutionary at the time too, as I recall reading older articles about Arrowhead.
Well, we were talking before we went on air about the retractable roof, because I know that when they remodeled Arrowhead in whatever year that was, I'm going to have to take a peek here in a second, that they'd actually talked about putting a retractable roof on it so they could host some Super Bowls. And then you were telling me that the original plans actually called for a retractable roof that would actually go between both the Royals and the Chiefs Stadium.
Yeah. According to the article, they just scrapped it because it was going to cost a lot more money than the $102 million bond. And I'm kind of torn on it, being a Chiefs fan. I'm used to being out in the elements, kind of like Green Bay, kind of like Soldier Field.
Right.
These people that put domes on, I just think they're wussies. Play football the way it was meant to be played in the elements.
Yeah.
Is my opinion. It's great if you put a dome on. Yeah, everybody's warm. There's no rain. There's no snow. There's no heat. There's no, I think players like the Chiefs and Green Bay, when you get teams, let's just say New Orleans Saints, for example, they're a great dome team,
Right.
or Dallas for that fact. You get them out of the dome in the middle of winter. I think there's a huge advantage to the home team.
Oh yeah.
Forget about the record. You're getting into December, January, February football. You go from a dome outside and it's -10 out. Might not make a difference in the first quarter, but
Yeah.
I like the fact that we're out in the open. I think it gives us an advantage over other teams, especially late in the season.
I agree. I agree with you 100%. I think that being outside in those elements, practicing in those elements, and playing in those elements, those guys get a little more used to it than those dome guys, and I think it does give us an advantage. Not only that, but for me, it was always fun to see. Well, Denver's the same way. I mean, Denver, it always is the first game of the season where it snows. It's always a Denver game. And they're always out there scraping up, yard lines and
Yep.
and doing stuff like that, which I always think is just fun. But some of those games that were played in the snow over the years, those are some of the most fun games that you've ever watched.
Yeah, most memorable. I mean,
Yeah.
The playoff games we did, in the snow the past 2 years, I was at those games and I was just like, this is awesome. This is, January, December football,
Right. And then we go to AFC Championship game against the Bengals, you and me, and it's 70 degrees at the beginning of February. I mean, that's what gives it that excitement of being in Arrowhead is all that. So I love it.
That's also why the wife had me change seats, because she doesn't like the elements.
Oh yeah, that's why you're paying the big money for those club seats, big dog.
That's why we'll just leave it at that.
Yep, we'll step away. We're gonna step away.
But yeah, I will say, when they built the stadium, at the time, was state of the art. Everything that they did was, something that was new, or Arrowhead was, when it was completed in, what do you say, 72,
yes.
Was kind of the state of the art stadium at the time. Obviously we've fallen way behind as far as wrap around, LCD boards and stuff like that. You know what, when they modified Arrowhead for the Gia stuff, and they made the boards a little bigger, the Arrowhead and Chiefs Jumbotrons bigger.
Right.
I didn't like it. I wanted the old one back.
A nice little small oval one that was up there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess with age comes nostalgic,
Oh yeah.
The younger people are probably like, yeah, hell yeah, it's a bigger screen. Well, guess what? It's still not HD, dude. It's still some kind of pixel, lated type of jumbotron. It's not like what they're putting in the brand new stadiums, but we got to roll with the times. I think Arrowhead's probably, I think in the next year or two, because they were trying to get lured, for those of you that don't follow the Chiefs, into the Kansas City side. They were going to give them, $1 billion stadium and, all these other perks,
right.
I believe, Clark Hunt and McNatt, or what's his name, the president, losing his name, but came out and said, at least for now, we're staying in Kansas City. So, is it a big move? I don't think so. I mean, it's like 30-mile difference. I mean, we're not talking, 100, 200 miles.
My thought process on that is that everybody kept saying they'd go from the Kansas City Chiefs to the Kansas Chiefs, and I couldn't understand that because they would still be in Kansas City. They would just be on the Kansas side of Kansas City. So I'd never made any sense, but
they wanted to do that just to show that they weren't happy.
Right on
with them moving, but I personally can't see him moving. I think Lamar would roll over to his grave if Clark moved him to Kansas.
Right.
Nothing against Kansas. It's just the stadium's been there, as we said. Started in '67, first game in '72. What's that? How many years is that? My math is gonna be way off.
5. It'd be 4 or 5.
No, 72 to 2020.
Oh no, I don't
stadium's
ask me.
been
Don't
there.
ask me to do. Well, 72, 70, yeah, 72 to 22.
Yeah.
That ought to be pretty easy, right?
Yeah. That's 50 years.
50 years.
Come to think of it, that math was a lot easier
A
than I thought.
lot easier. Just had to stop and think about it for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think a stadium that's been in place for 50 years, I just can't see it moving them.
I once again, I agree with you 100% because I'm a Chiefs fan and it's nostalgic. And the nostalgia of it being there is the best part of it. It is Arrowhead. I will not call it the other name.
Yeah, I won't either.
I refuse. So it always will. And no matter what will be Arrowhead Stadium. But
well, at least they got it half right, Jeremy, because they don't call it Gia Field, by the way. It's Gia Field at Arrowhead.
Arrowhead, yeah, I know. But I still
whereas,
refuse.
I know. Whereas most stadiums, it just becomes Heinz Field, for example, right?
Right.
I don't even know what Heinz Field was before it was Heinz Field.
Heinz Field is what Pittsburgh plays at?
Yeah.
That used to be, didn't that used to be Three River Stadium?
There you go. See again.
Boom.
Because they call it, the sponsor's name. I totally forgot what the real name was. So, Allegiant Stadium, is Allegiant a company? I don't know. It must be.
Yeah, isn't that the airline Allegiant, or is it a mortgage company or something? I don't know.
No idea. But either way, it should be Las Vegas Raiders Field, in my opinion. Right. Whatever, they're getting paid for that name change. So,
Oh yeah. But we talk about, moving, at least they'd be moving within the same city. Whereas, the Raiders and the Chargers have both left, either San Diego or Oakland again. And it just, to me, it's like that, our team would still be in Kansas City. We'd still be the Kansas City Chiefs. But, there's a lot of them that the money talks and they just move because the money's there.
Yeah, maybe it'd be called the Kansas City, Kansas Chiefs. Just to throw Kansas in so they get their notoriety.
Yeah,
Kansas City, Kansas Chiefs.
Kansas City, Kansas Chiefs. No, let's not do that.
KC.
Let's not do that.
Yeah, that would be KC.
Are we going to get shirts made to just say KC? Go KC.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Terrible. That's terrible. So yeah, anything else you want to cover about just some of the history of Arrowhead, or that? I guess there is the one big thing we could talk about: the noise record.
Yeah, someone owns that.
The
Chiefs.
Yeah, how about those Chiefs? Listen, that my son being a Seattle Seahawks fan, and the back and forth that year where Kansas City would have the record, and then the next game Seattle would take the record back, and then Kansas City took it back. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun in my household.
Yeah, so we were at obviously we were at those games, and when Seattle, I think they get up to 130 decibels or so. I'm just going off memory. And we had that Monday night game against New England, and so we're walking into the stadium. They're handing out earplugs. I don't need no stinking earplugs,
I can handle it. I can get it.
So we were in the second row, all the way on field level.
Right.
Let's just put it this way. We did break the record, which is still yet to be broken in any stadium worldwide. I might note, not just the U.S. 142.2 decibels.
But we are talking
stadium,
outdoor.
Yes.
Outdoor. Yes.
Sorry. Yes. Yeah. We walked back to our truck and got in the truck, and we're screaming at each other. And I couldn't realize why we're screaming at each other. I realized because for the next 2 or 3 days, I literally lost hearing.
Mm-hmm.
So for perspective on 142.2 decibels, it's basically being next to a jet engine taking off.
Right.
is the analogy back in the day that I looked up. Being on a flight deck on like on an aircraft carrier, but being next to the jet engine as it takes off.
Right.
That's
Right.
142.2 decibels. And at 150 decibels, from what I recall, it said hearing loss and permanent damage.
Oh, so close. So
yeah,
close.
So for some people, I'm not saying everybody, but
right.
That was one record I was proud of because we beat New England on Monday Night Football, and we reclaimed the Lotto Stadium.
Nice. I don't. If you've never been to Arrowhead, I don't think anybody really. I mean, that's a really great analogy. It's like standing next to a jet engine, and anybody's ever had an airplane or a jet go over top, you know how loud that is, let alone standing right beside it. But I don't think you understand how loud that stadium is until you're in there and feel it and take it in. The year that the first game that I ever went to in Arrowhead, it was a salute to service weekend, and they had some what is it, paratroopers come down in. One of them was wearing a GoPro, and he filmed himself taking, making that jump out of the plane and coming all the way down into Arrowhead. And it looked, I'm guesstimating, but I'm going to say a mile to a mile and a half above the stadium. You could actually hear the people cheering and just going off. I mean, you look at an overhead shot of Google and you think, oh yeah. I mean, this guy had a GoPro and was coming in, and you just have that look, that, that satellite look as he's coming down, and he's got about, I would guess, about a mile up, and you can hear the crowd cheering on this freaking GoPro. It was unbelievable. Yeah, I don't remember what year was that, 2018, I believe, or 2017. I can't remember what year it was, but if you ever get a chance to go find that and find it on YouTube, it's a great watch.
I'm pretty sure I was probably at the game.
You probably were.
But to watch it on the GoPro would be worth it.
Oh yeah.
One other interesting, new news about Arrowhead is what's going to happen in 2026.
I don't know. Do tell.
So I'll start off by saying that Arrowhead does have a soccer team in Missouri. Kansas City Wizards, I believe.
What is that? Is that an F5? What is it? What is that? That is a.
What are we looking at?
Board. An FIFA World Cup.
Oh, I was getting there.
Okay, I was just asking.
You were beating me to the punch.
I gotta get in there, man. Bring him up. Here. I'll put one hand behind my back.
So actually, let me back up slightly further. When Lamar Hunt passed, I happened to be at a Chicago Bulls game.
Okay.
And they did a moment of silence for Lamar Hunt, who I did not know was a minority owner of the Bulls.
Oh,
no
really?
No idea. So come to find out, the Hunt family is involved in many, many sports. I think the closest to their heart is probably basketball, football, basketball, and then now soccer. They've had a team, I don't know, probably 1999, give or take, the Wizards that play there.
Okay.
And it's been a dream of at least Clark Hunt, I'm not sure if it was Lamar Hunt, to host a World Cup soccer match at Arrowhead, and they were picked to host the 2024, I believe, match. Hopefully multiple matches. 2026 FIFA World Cup. Arrowhead was selected to be one of the stadiums that those games will be played at. They do have to do some minor renovations. 50 online, it says 50 million, but that's very exciting, for, I think, Lamar and Clark, and his dad passed, but I'm assuming that was a dream of his. But now it's happening. I think it's exciting to watch Arrowhead be used for different international venue.
Right.
I think that speaks volumes for not only the people who were wanting to make this happen, but the people that made it happen. I'm excited. My friend, who's a huge Chiefs fan, is a huge soccer fan, and I believe he's in Manchester. I don't follow soccer.
I don't either.
He's
Sorry.
a big Manchester fan, and when he heard the Chiefs are going to be hosting, World Cup games, he's like, "I'm in." He's going. So
Nice.
I think it's cool. That it's another international event. Held at Arrowhead. I'm excited.
That's very cool. And it's nice to know that the Arrowhead could get picked for something like that, and it brings a whole new array to that stadium. I mean,
versus like
they
monster
do
truck rallies.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they do all kinds of stuff up there, but that's pretty awesome. So good deal.
Kudos to the Chiefs organization or whoever made this happen. Good job.
Right on. All right. Let's talk about a little bit about the people of Arrowhead, the fans.
You mean the ones in red and yellow?
Ones in red and yellow. Let's not talk about the other ones in orange and black or black and gray or anything like that. Once again, Arrowhead is almost like a family. And I've said this many a times, and you always laugh at me. It's like I'm just hanging out with 80,000 of my closest friends.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're there as a Chiefs fan, that everybody's high-fiving, everybody's, it's just, you're all family there. It seems like we've met several people while we were out tailgating. In the couple years that I've been down there with you, just awesome people. You walk up, I think you were off on field practice with your dad when we were down there for that November game that time. And Karen and Bobby went down and got pictures taken with the guy with giant Mahomes head that he was wearing on his head. And, they're just happy to do it. Me personally, I was in the tent cooking with my apron and my chef's hat on, and people are going by and giving me high fives and shit like that. They love that stuff, and it's an amazing experience just to go to Arrowhead.
Yeah.
You watch the Chiefs every week. I mean, come on, if you're a diehard fan, you figured out how to watch them, whether you had a Sunday ticket or whether where to find them on the internet. But to go there and to feel the energy and be with 80,000 of your closest friends, just hanging out, having a beer and watching a game, it's pretty fucking amazing. And anybody who's listening to this who had never been to Arrowhead, you need to go at least one time, put it on your bucket list, and go and enjoy it. And yeah, it's a mecca, as Rob would say.
Yeah, I mean, I would say even if you're not a Chiefs fan, if you're a visiting team, it's been, talked about many a times that the Chiefs Kingdom is one of the most friendly visiting team. How do I put it? We're the nicest to the visiting team of any other stadium that I personally been to. Anyone that comes to Arrowhead, you should be comfortable, feel safe. There's a lot of camaraderie, of course, for Chiefs fans kind of egging on the other team, but we're high-fiving at the game. People sat behind me. They're the different team, and their team scores, I give them a high five. Our team scores, they give me a high five. It's not one of those fan bases where if you're the opposite team, you're just automatically the enemy and they call you names, throw stuff at you. That's not Arrowhead. That's not the fans of Arrowhead either. So feel free to come. I mean, you don't even have to barbecue. You can just walk around and get free food.
I've yet to find that, and I got to work on that. Well, maybe this year we'll see about going and doing that.
It's easy. You walk up, and there's so much food in that parking lot. Hy-Vee is the current sponsor of the Chiefs, and man, those grocery stores on Saturday and Sunday morning, they probably make more money during the
Right.
football season, on a Saturday or Sunday than they make in a week.
Oh yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I'm hypothesizing, I know that's probably not true, but just giving you kind of the aspect of everybody goes to Arrowhead for one of two things, or for two things: one, tailgating, and
Yeah.
two, the game.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you used to be able to tailgate and watch the game, in your with your little TV outside. I don't know if you can still do that, but people would just tailgate. They didn't have tickets. They had
They
more
would
fun
just
tailgating.
yeah.
Then there's the flip side of tailgating is you tailgate just a little too hard, a little too fast.
Yeah, you got to be really careful with that.
Yeah, and you got these tickets to the game, and you don't even make it inside. So I'm just saying, pace yourself.
Yeah. Have fun, but keep it under control.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my advice for anyone that's never been to Arrowhead, get there early. If you try to get to Arrowhead after 10 p.m. for a noon game, you're going to be sitting in your car.
Yeah, the game's going to start, and you're going to still be sitting in your car.
Yeah, so my advice is, try to get there. I would say sometime between opening gate, which is usually 7:30, 8 o'clock, depending on how much crowd they have waiting to get in. But I wouldn't get there any later than 9:30 to avoid the rush and to give yourself time to tailgate and visit. I personally, as Jeremy knows, I'm in the car by 7:15, 7:30.
Get there early. Get there early. Yeah, Phil likes there. Well, and the big thing is that, and people that don't know, Phil has a certain area he likes to park in. He has a couple spots that he likes to get to, and they're good tailgating spots because they're a little bit wider because of the some of the partitions that are out there. So Phil spent some time there, so he's got this all scoped out, and he knows where he wants to go. I think we kind of missed it on the AFC Championship game. We were a little late, I think, getting there. Not super late. We still tailgated a little bit and had some fun, but I don't think we got the exact spots you wanted. But I mean, fuck it. Man, the people that were next to us were awesome.
Yeah, we were still there by I think 8:30. We just didn't get there at 8. Where you get the choice of a lot. But I still think we parked near the exit.
Yeah,
I if I remember correctly, but it's all a blur now.
Yeah, I just know I was there and it was a good time. Even if we did, let's not talk about the loss, but it is what it is. Yeah, so go have a good time, meet the people out there, because I mean, I've yet to meet somebody that this wasn't super friendly out tailgating or hanging out in the seats, when you get inside. Yeah, it's just an amazing experience, and you should go check it out.
And the last plug I'm going to do for Arrowhead Stadium, for the Chiefs fans, they have the, I think it's behind section 116, I think, is the Chiefs Hall of Fame Museum, basically. If this is your first time to Arrowhead, or if you're just a fan of football, they go back, they have stuff all the way back, when they were the Dallas Texans, up to current. It's kind of cool to see. It's free. It doesn't cost you a dime except for your time. So, spend some time and, go down there and check it out. You'll like it.
Yeah, we need to do that again this year, because I think the first time I was there, we just kind of walked through it real quickly, because, it was so much to try to take in for that one day, my first time there. Also, something else, that if you are going to Arrowhead and it is your first time in Arrowhead, make sure you find the cart and get yourself a certificate saying, be your first game at Arrowhead. They'll write it up for you right
there. Fans first. They're all over the place.
Fans first. There you go.
Yep. Yeah. Where's yours?
Hanging on the wall in the living room.
Oh. I'll honestly say I didn't get one, because my first game, they probably didn't have them, when I was young. But yeah, I got Karen when she went to her first Chiefs game. She has hers. So yeah, it's pretty cool memento. It's free. It's just, it even lists the date and the game that you went to. So it's a little memento, for your first Chiefs game. Good point.
I love it. I love it. And then, yeah, I think that's something definitely. What is it called again? Fans first?
Yeah, fans first booth. Even my friend who is a Steelers fan, I brought him to his last game, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
He went and got one because he had never been to Arrowhead.
Yeah.
And, this was Ben Roethlisberger's last game. Well, I knew it
Right.
was going to be.
He was hoping it wasn't going to be.
Yeah. But he went and got one too. And, he has it out in his man cave, which is his garage. So kind of cool.
Right on. That's
so you don't
awesome.
have to be a Chiefs fan, is all I'm saying. If you just want a memento that you went to the game,
hey,
it's kind of cool.
If you're at Arrowhead, get a memento, and it's free. It doesn't cost anything. You just got to walk up there and ask for one, and they'll write
price.
Yeah, I like free. What free 99? Free 99.
FREE.
That's right.
Free.
All right, Phil, I think we're going to wrap this Arrowhead talk up here for this evening.
Right.
I think we got most everything covered. If we think of something, we'll bring it up next week and, maybe throw in a little extra, but this has been fun. I'm glad you made it. I'm glad surgery went well. Congratulations on getting that damn arm of yours fixed, and hopefully you can be spanking Karen before you know it.
Yeah, too much tomahawk chop going on the past few seasons. I blew my elbow out.
Hey, that's a pretty darn good reason if you ask me.
But yeah, no, it's on the mend. Thanks for mentioning that. But yeah, I'm not all the way out of pain, so I'm hoping by the weekend I'll feel a lot better. We'll hope so.
Right on. Let's hope so. Me too.
Yeah.
Hope I'm feeling better. All right. Well,
yeah.
Thank you for tuning in to Indiana Chiefs fans, and we're excited that you're here. If you like what you hear or see, please go and rate and review us on Spotify or Apple Podcast. If you have, like I said, we shouted out early on some comments on our YouTube page and an email. If you have something you want to tell us about, maybe your first visit to Arrowhead or just a story about your favorite player, we'd love to hear you. It's Indiana Chiefs Fan Podcast it's IN Chiefs Fan Podcast at gmail.com. Give us a shout, man. We'd love to hear from you. I love getting emails from listeners. And so, but yeah, you can go on Apple or Spotify and rate and review. And what that does is it helps us out, to build a repertoire and get some stars and, for the future. And it makes us feel good about ourselves because, we're egomaniacs and we got to have as much love as we possibly can. But
or as
also
Gutter would say, wherever you get your podcast.
Wherever you get your podcast. Well, Apple and Spotify are the only ones you can and rate on, and I think Apple's the only one you can write a review if you would like to. And once again, that is free to do. It doesn't cost you anything but your time, so it helps us out and it lets us know that you're listening. And we want to hear from the people that are tuning us in and let us know how we're doing. It's important to us to know that whether we're doing this right or doing it wrong, if we're idiots or whether we're fucking geniuses, either or, you gotta know. I'm assuming the genius part's probably a big stretch, but so thanks anyway. Also, part of the Golden Mojo Entertainment family, go check out our other podcasts, which include the Murdnerds, which is true crime. You can find them at Facebook / Murdnerds. Or the United States of Paranormal. Once again, Facebook.com / United States Paranormal. That's pretty obvious. They're a paranormal thing going on there. But check out Golden Image Podcast, which is me and the boys. We talk about all of these adventures we go take, and whether it be a brewery or winery or whatever, we like to come back and tell you about it, whether we liked it and whether we didn't. We've had a couple bad reviews, a couple places we did not enjoy, and we're not dissing them, but we're not gonna sugarcoat it. And finally, you gotta get in and check out The Call Guys with Chico and Colton, or as I like to call him, Vanilla Thunder. He just doesn't know it yet. Where they talk about all this pop culture, whether it's Disney Plus's new shows or movies that have just come out, music, they talk about their top bands. They're a lot of fun to listen to. And what it does is it gets your blood boiling, because Colton's just going to irritate the shit out of you every time he gets on that mic, because he's just so competitive and so mindset on his opinion that you just want to yell at your radio while you're listening. And it's great. It's just it's so much fun. Have you listened to much of the call guys there, Phil?
One episode.
Nice. Did you want to yell at your radio?
No, I was laughing personally.
All right, there you go.
Well, I think it's mostly because I know most of the people. So
right. There you go. But yeah, so there you go. Murdnerds, United States Paranormal. I forgot to mention that's kind of a double duty there. We got our team in Texas called Team Teos, which is Logan, Matt, and Bose, and Team Boozers up here in Indiana, which is me and Alicia from Murdnerds, and Call Guys and Golden Image Podcast, and what I miss, Indiana Chiefs fans. That's all 5, right? I got them. You got them. And I did that with all out notes, so if it's a little jumbled, there you go.
It kind of cracks me up because our intro was screwed up. Now that I think about it,
Why? What I do?
Normally you do, 4-time podcaster.
Yep.
I thought about it once you started going through the Mojo Entertainment
right,
podcast. I was like, crap, we didn't do the 4-time podcaster. That's kind of funny.
Well, since Chico wasn't here, I had to change it up on the fly. So
that's why I said he's gonna laugh. He's like, they didn't do it.
They didn't do it.
Yeah, we're old and set in our ways. That's why you're here.
That's right. Keeping us real. All right. From our little slice of Chiefs Kingdom here in Indiana, all I gotta say is, how about those Chiefs? We'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. You got something there we can finish off with?
Nope.
All right. All right. Later. Call me the